and welcome back to Mr. Story Channel. Today, I have a story that will touch your heart. A story Jesus told to help us understand how deeply He loves each one of us. It's called The Lost Sheep. Jesus' love for every single person, no matter how far they wander. It was a peaceful morning in the hills of Judea. The air was cool, and the sound of birds filled the sky. A shepherd stood on the green hillside, surrounded by his flock, 100 sheep. He knew every single one of them. He knew which were gentle, which were playful, which liked to wander off. Each morning, he would call them by name, and one by one, they'd come running. He led them to green pastures and quiet waters. He watched them eat, rest, and play. The shepherd loved them deeply. To him, they weren't just animals, they were his family. But one day, something unexpected happened. As the sun climbed higher, the flock grazed happily. But one little sheep, the smallest, the fluffiest one, began to wander. He saw a butterfly fluttering nearby. He chased it, laughing in his own sheepy way. Then he saw some tasty grass just over the hill, and another, and another. Before long, he looked up and realized he was alone. No other sheep, no shepherd. The hills were quiet, and the wind began to blow. He called out softly, "Ba?" But no one answered. He was lost. The sun began to set, and shadows stretched across the land. The little sheep felt afraid. He wished he had stayed close to the shepherd. But far away, the shepherd was counting his sheep. 1, 2, 3, 97, 98, 99. He stopped. His smile faded. 99? He whispered. One is missing. He looked over the flock again. Yes, the little sheep was gone. Did he sigh and say, "Oh well, I still have 99"? No. His heart was full of love, and he couldn't rest knowing one was lost. So he grabbed his staff, wrapped his cloak tight, and began to walk into the dark hills. He climbed rocks, crossed rivers, and pushed through thorny bushes. The wind howled, and the night grew cold. But still he called out, "Little one, where are you?" His voice echoed through the night. He wouldn't stop until he found his lost sheep. The shepherd's lantern flickered as he searched the valley. He checked behind rocks, inside caves, and along narrow paths. His feet were tired, his hands were scratched, but his heart never gave up. Then, suddenly, he heard a sound. "Ba! Ba!" He turned quickly. There, tangled in a bush, cold and shaking, was the little sheep. "Ah, there you are," said the shepherd with joy. He rushed to him, untangled the thorns, and gently lifted him into his arms. He hugged the sheep close and said softly, "I've found you. You're safe now." The little sheep snuggled into his chest, warm and relieved. And the shepherd smiled through tears of happiness. The shepherd carried the sheep all the way home on his shoulders. The stars twinkled above, lighting the path. When he reached the hillside, the other sheep looked up, and it was like they understood. He called out to his neighbors and friends, "Rejoice with me! I found my lost sheep!" They laughed and celebrated together. It didn't matter that it was only one, because that one mattered. Then Jesus looked at his listeners and said, If a shepherd has 100 sheep and one gets lost, won't he leave the 99 to find the one? And when he finds it, won't he rejoice? He smiled and said softly, "In the same way, there is more joy in heaven over one lost soul who returns to God than over 99 who never wandered away." And that, dear friends, is the story of the lost sheep, a story that reminds us how much Jesus cares for every one of us. If you ever feel alone or far away, remember, He's already looking for you, ready to carry you home with love and joy. Thank you for listening to this story on Mr. Story Channel, where every story brings hope, peace, and light to your heart. If you enjoyed this story, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share so more people can hear about Jesus' love. Until next time, keep your hearts open and your faith strong.